Hey folks, Mark from the Safe House. It's been a kind of crazy week really the California wildfires are still going on, but I am being inundated with calls from customers, existing customers that I've had and customers that are looking for fire safes, and they're asking me, Mark, what do you need for a fire safe? And of course, we always want to protect our stuff, but I actually see more fire damage on safes and stuff in my past customers' homes and stuff. I just had one last week, and I get that question a lot. Well, Mark, how much fire protection do I need? And it really is dependent on what you're putting in the safe, because different things are damaged at different temperatures. But if you have like wildfires that you have in California, I know with us being here in Nashville, we generally don't have wildfires, but we have your typical house fire. And a typical house fire is going to burn around 1,200 degrees, give or take a little bit, and that can flash over and burn higher. But so what is a good fire rating? So if you came down here and looked at the over 200 safes that we have in our Nashville showroom, you would see anywhere from about a 30-minute minimum, very minimum fire rating up to almost a 3-hour fire rating on some of my higher end safes. So here again, what's a good fire rating? Well, I recommend a minimum of about 60 minutes, and you can't just look at the time that the fire rating was done. So you may have a 30-minute, a 60-minute, you go 75, 80 minutes, then kind of jumps to 90 minutes, 2 hours, 2.5 hour rated safe. And you need to look at also at the temperature that the fire test was done at. So if you had a typical house fire around 1,200 degrees, and I have a safe that was tested at 1,200 degrees for, say, 90 minutes, you can get about an hour and a half out of that. If you look at some of the better safes that burn their safes at higher test temperatures, you get a better fire rating, a longer duration of protection out of that fire rating. And you may wonder, well, why do they burn the safe at a higher temperature? Of course, it gives you a longer fire rating. But one thing you need to look at is flashover in a fire. So if you go and read about how fires burn, which I'm no firefighter or fire expert, but I have been in this business 32 years and done a lot of research about it. But if you look at fires, they have a flashover period. So around 1,100-ish degrees, a fire, a lot of times stuff starts to combust in your home or your business, and everything burns at once, and that temperature will go up and burn hotter until the material, the combustibles, have burned out, and then it goes back down to about that 1,200-ish degree temperature during the fire. So if I have a test, just say like this Browning that's burned at 1,700 degrees for almost 2 hours, if I have just a typical 1,200 degree house fire, I'm going to get well over 2.5 hours out of that safe for a fire protection package. So when you go and look at fire ratings on safes, look, number one, how long was it burned for? 60 minutes, hour and a half, whatever it was. And then the test temperature that they did the burn at. So the longer the better, the hotter the better, of course, it gives you more protection. Let me throw something else in at you, is what are you putting in your safe? If you're thinking about paperwork's going to start being damaged around 350. And if you look at the ignition temperature of paper, it's over 400 degrees. And what else is around that temperature? It'd be wood, say wood on a gun stock or something like that, that would be damaged. Now, if you have more delicate things like backup disc, pictures, old films, negatives of relatives or videos or stuff like that, those are damaged at much lower temperatures. So if I have a fire rated safe that's rated for an hour and I have close to a 45 minute fire, I'm going to start damaging those materials. So one thing too, I'll throw in, a while back before we have our different computer stuff now, hard drives and all that kind of stuff, we had media. A lot of the old stuff, whether it's film negative, stuff like that. Those fire tests, or there goes my phone again. Someone wanting a safe. But those fire safes, there were media safes, and they were test temperature of an internal temperature of 125. So if you see a media safe, it's going to be a test temperature, internal temperature of 125, because media is damaged at a much lower temperature. You actually put it in a car on a hot summer day and it would melt it or damage it and stuff. So when you go and look for a fire safe, whether you live whatever part of the country you live in, whether you live in the southeast like we are here in Nashville, live out west where there are wildfires as we've seen in the past couple weeks. But you just want to look for fire temperature test and the length of time that they've done it. And there's a few other nuances and stuff. If you have any questions about this, of course, I'd be happy to answer them. We've got a lot of information on our website about that. And by all means, you can give us a call. Go to our email address, which is nashvillesafehouse@gmail.com. Everybody has a Gmail address, I think. Or you can go to our website, which is thesafehouse.com. Look at all the information we have on that. Give us a call. Contact us. We'd be happy to discuss what your needs are and what your options are to get a good fire safe. So we appreciate you watching this video. If you have any questions, just go to thesafehouse.com.